Now it's not working. Welcome to the PlayStation Plus podcast, PlayStation Plus everything else about gaming, about geek culture too. We have some guests today, the Geek Getaway, Tony from the Geek Getaway.
What's up, you guys?
Isaac from the Lounge, the Poindexter Lounge. Great to have you on. We've been wanting you on for a long time. Matt's been requesting some younger video or gamers.
We need some young blood in here, man.
Yeah.
I'm excited to do this.
So, yeah, but we actually have some next gen stories now.
Mhm.
I actually can, if I'm gonna veto, I'm gonna give my vote to say I want to hear Ed's story first, because the last time I checked, he had a video complaining about launch day and how he couldn't get it. So you have an update, Ed?
Yes, I have an update.
Okay,
I have now my PlayStation 5. There you go. Close up. Close up.
Oh, that dual
And this isn't just the controller. I
wow.
wouldn't do that. But yes, I do have it. It's tucked up in the corner over there. And
He
the
just got
box
the
is over there. Yeah, exactly. You could do that, right? That you'd be a real loser.
It's official. I have it.
Yeah, I haven't. No shit.
Yeah.
But no, everyone knows the story. I think I told before about Toys R Us just totally screwed me and everything like that, and it's all in the video. But what was cool is that EB Games, or what you have over there, I think it's called GameStop. They were taking down everyone's information for who wanted a PlayStation 5, and they took down my information, and I got it 3 days after the launch from EB Games. So they've been really fantastic. Walmart has been sucking, Amazon's been sucking, everyone else has nothing, but EB Games came through for me in a big way. But they only have the disc versions, they don't have the digital one. And I go, why don't you have the digital one? And they tell me because what Sony's doing is because in order to price match pretty much what Xbox is doing, because they got to be competitive, they're losing money out on the digital version. And I think they're losing money out on even the PlayStation 5. It was supposed to be more expensive. So they're trying to recuperate as much money as they possibly can by only pretty much putting out the disc version and just barely trickling out the digital ones. So even if you were lucky to even get one here in Canada, it'd be gone immediately, right? So it was cool, and I got it, and I'm happy.
Oh, that's great. I'm happy for. I didn't think.
I don't know if anyone
I'm
else.
happy
I don't know
for
if
you,
anyone
Ed.
else
That's-
got a PlayStation 5 in this panel. I don't know.
Well,
Am I the
Matt-
only one?
I don't know about Tony. I think.
Nah, I didn't get one.
Oh, okay, Matt, you have
My
one.
brother got one.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's even better. You don't have to pay for it, and you can play it.
Yeah. Shit, dude.
So at
That's-
least I could tell everyone what the experiences are with like the controller and the haptic feedback. It's actually quite an experience. It's not a gimmick. It's really cool. But
So
I'll
so
let
do
someone else-
you would you say you need a haptic feedback suit to fully enjoy it, or
If
are
they
you
did
good
have one, I would definitely get one, because this is the next way you want to play video games pretty much on a system. This is what puts PlayStation 5 ahead of PC now, ahead of Xbox, ahead of everything, is just the feedback you're getting from the controller. You can feel everything.
Well, I'm a little disappointed. Not
What
in
games
the,
have you been playing?
What games have I been
What game-
playing?
Yeah. What would you try it out on? That
Okay,
would-
well, the Astro Playroom that comes with the system is not like you're thinking this could just be a cheap throw in with the system that just demonstrates kind of what the system and controller can do. No, this is like better than Mario 64. This is better than any Mario game I played. It's a full fleshed out game. It's big, it's huge. There's tons of collectibles, and they show you everything that the controller can do. It's implemented throughout the whole thing. Like, speaking of blowing, there are fans that you gotta blow on the controller in order to spin the fans. They got all sorts of weird things that you do with the feedback on the triggers. That's not what?
That's not good enough for me. I was honest. I was being genuine the last episode when I was disappointed. I'm like, I want it to blow on me. Yes, I want that. I want that dual. No, but that controller, I am happy with my Series X. But I have some things I'm slightly disappointed with. One of them is the controller. I do like it, but This, I thought the direction pad I was going to like more, but I don't like the way it clicks. It feels cheap to me. I don't. I actually
this thing in every single way feels like $1 million. Like it's
what
got
do you have, Isaac?
Oh, wow.
It's
$1 million.
It really does. No, like $1 million controller, pretty much. Like these things, feel like the buttons are just silk smooth, like to perfection. There's no click, there's no rattle, there's nothing about the controller. It's absolutely solid. And then the weird things they do with the triggers too, with that forced feedback, is utilized in so many different ways. Like it really felt like a spring. Like when you're in the spring suit and you got to compress it. If you were holding literally a spring in your hand right now and you were pushing down on it, it makes that creaky little noise, like tick, 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 tick. It does that.
I like that kind of stuff. I like.
And I was in this part where I had this arm, and I thought I broke the controller because what they do is they lock the trigger, so you can't even push it down. And I'm like, oh, I think it's jammed, it's broken. But you got to push down on it really, really hard, and then all of a sudden it goes doing, and it feels like it breaks, and then all of a sudden that does the arm in the game, like it's meant to do that.
Did you test any PS4 games on it?
No, not yet. But I've looked at Digital Foundry and they've put on specific games, and if they're unlocked frame rate, they will be 60 frames at maximum resolution without a hiccup whatsoever. So that's like Dark Souls 3, et cetera, et cetera. So I haven't tested them yet, but I will. But I mean, Digital Foundry did it, so I can confirm that they run perfectly.
So hey, Steve Kassan in the chat. That one, Carlos.
What's up, Sonia? Carlos?
Yeah, appreciate you coming by. So the controller you were showing, Isaac, is that an Elite?
Yeah, this is the Elite Series 2.
Okay, I've never tried that.
Is that for PC?
Oh wait, no, that's for Xbox One. It's just a high-end controller.
Oh, the high-end one. Yeah, it's very closely related to that.
It's got the back. Do you enjoy that controller?
It's a beautiful looking controller. I mean,
well, what's great about that is if you already own one, you're going to be able to use it on the Series X. So cool. I will ask Isaac, and because we know Mad Matt is a PC gamer, and he can just he's got a family member that has PS5. He could play that. Yeah. Isaac and Tony from the Geek Getaway. What next gen are you? Well, I'm not going to mention the Miko. Sorry, Tony. What's next gen? What next gen console are you looking? What do you want? What do you want? If you haven't got it yet, what are you looking forward to? What would you prefer?
Well, me personally, I'm going to end up getting all of them because that's what I do. I review stuff. I got to review games.
Okay.
So getting them all is going to be eventual, but I think.
But if you had to get one, PlayStation 5 all the way.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Isaac, you too?
Yeah, as I say, this week I was kind of looking for a Series X, but because I didn't pre-order one, it was pretty much impossible to find. So I ended up going with the One X for now. So I think that the next one I'll go for is the PS5 and then the Series X.
Okay, cool. So you got you got a One X.
Yes.
This week.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. That's a good.
Oh, wow.
There's still lots of great things with the One X because that's my one. I have. It's a great 4K Blu-ray player. It really does enhance some of the games.
And it's true native 4K, as far as I know.
Right.
Yeah, I just read Valhalla last night on it.
Oh, you did? Yeah. Okay, cool. Backwards compatible games look great on it. I'm actually, I'm still wanting to do my series Game Stack where I do like, if anyone knows Metal Jesus Rocks, he does Hidden Gems videos. Yeah. So I'm going to do that for backwards compatibility in fighting games because I think, to me personally, out of the genres I like, that's the one that really benefits the most with the load times. Because on current gen, that's why I did the Tekken video the other day. The load times were atrocious in Tekken 7, but now they're manageable. It looks better. And
this next generation load time thing is amazing, actually.
But if you think about how frequently you get load times on fighting games, that's what's like. Yes, fighting games need to be, and that's. I have a huge collection of fighting games. I got to play some of you guys on them, Mad Matt included. I got to start sharing my.
It's interesting to me because I haven't played fighting games for a long time, and I figured that they would have no load time because there's no world to load. It's just a stage, a background, and two guys on the screen. That's it. When you're like loading an entire world, like when you play the new one, like when I was playing Dark Souls and you walk through the fog, it's loading a whole other world. It's literally there in front of your face. There's no load screen. There's nothing. When you die, it goes right to the Nexus. There's no load screen. When you go back into the world, boom, you're just in it.
Well,
I thought that was pretty amazing.
The trends with fighting games in the current, not the new gen that we're talking about now, but the last gen, was at graphics over performance to really get the graphics there. I would prefer they'd scale down the graphics a little bit more for faster load times, faster gameplay.
Yeah, because for fighting games, you need that. You don't want any lag. You don't want there to be any slowdowns.
No, there shouldn't be.
The worst thing in the world was back in the day if you were trying to play like Mortal Kombat 2 on a PlayStation or on like a Sega Saturn, you'd have load times in the middle of the fight.
Yeah, after a round.
That would be ridiculous. Because it totally takes you out of what the fighting game is supposed to be. It's supposed to be fast, furious, and fun, and you're supposed to be connected to it for all the rounds. You're not supposed to be stopping and having a drink, eating a donut, and then going back to it. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, Neo Geo CD was the worst when I got that back in the day.
That's why you just played Neo Geo. That's why I love the old games so much, and I don't mind emulation because there's no loading. You're there.
That's the way it was supposed to be played. And if you played a game like King of Fighters, you got 3-on-3, right? So when one of your guys gets KO'd or you KO one of the other guy's supposed to jump in right away and it's supposed to go round 2, fight. Well, on the Neo Geo CD, it was like a minute and a half load time, even if one guy got KO'd. And it was sitting there forever, like
yeah, it's like I'm gonna eat this sandwich while I wait for the next screen.
You totally could.
So what I'm thinking about getting is just the DualSense controller for now until I could get one, and seeing if I could get it to work on my Series X, because I have a device where you could use other controllers.
That's interesting.
On other systems. It's called Resnow. It's like $100.
I have something similar for my Switch. It's called like a Reswitch or something.
But might have to look up for a firmware update on the device because it's a new controller.
Do you have an arcade stick for your Switch? You mentioned the Nintendo Switch.
Oh no! As of right now, I just have
like the Hori one, the Street Fighter.
No, the only other controller I have is the GameCube one, the wireless.
Oh, okay.
But Max, what would you get out of it other than possibly the better D-pad? You wouldn't be able to utilize any of the special things.
I don't know how much the haptics will work with a device that
if it would even work at all. I don't even know, because this is a complete, like, I've seen the what do you call it, the take apart videos, the tear down videos of the inside here, and like these are not just spring loaded triggers anymore. This is like a whole other complete unit. It's got a board on it and everything, and it's got screws.
It has a board on it for real.
Yeah, it's got it's got cogs on it and screws. The way, like, it's quite elaborate.
Now what I do like about the Series X, and I'll make this bigger, and then I have some complaints all around in this section here. But the back is more textured. It's better for like if you got it's not a fun thing to talk about sweaty gamer hands. If you're gaming,
I get them all the time.
So that's better. The triggers feel nice, but I actually like the rumble and the One X controller better. And I like the D-pad on the One X controller better, or the Xbox One. But you can still use it. Yeah. So I'm slightly disappointed in my Series X controller, but the system itself I'm very happy with. Unfortunately, the game I was looking forward to the most. And I'm going to send this episode to Codemasters. Dirt 5, Codemasters, you let me down. You let me down. Next gen, this was the game I was looking forward to most because it has a next gen upgrade free. I still do not have my Rumble. I'm almost like completing with the game there's still not a patch for freaking Rumble? Are you
that
kidding me?
Rumble? That Rumble, it seems like it's the most important element to you, Max. I love it.
It's half the game.
You really got to get a PS5 then, man, because if you're into that, you can. Okay, listen. When you get past it, that Rumble thing is obsolete.
Order the PS5 through Canada. Maybe you'll get it faster.
Because if you were playing dirt on this controller, you would literally feel the gravel underneath your fingers.
The other day, you were saying your horrible launch stories, and now you're like, PS5 is amazing. You're all down on
see the future. I never said it wasn't amazing. I was just pissed off at how they rolled it out. There's never been a time when it's just like you can't just get a system on the launch day. How hard can it be? But it's because of the, you know what? I can't say, right?
Yeah. The worldwide
is like, I love my Series X, but he can't get a PS5. So
you'll get one. Don't worry. They're on look at EB Games. GameStop
Matt is sitting there saying,
they're going to be sitting on the shelves. He's like, they're going to be sitting on the shelves. They're not even going to be like, they're going to have tons of them. Just wait.
There's amazing things that Microsoft is doing. Like Game Pass is legit. You got EA games now in it. I downloaded. I downloaded Jedi Fallen Order, and I got a bunch of Need for Speed games. And I haven't played Need for Speed in years because they all started to look the same to me. But Codemasters, you're on my list, and I gave them the benefit of the doubt. You know, Mad Matt covered it on last week's episode. I don't remember. I don't know what happened. I wasn't there, but he covered. No, I was sleeping on the couch. But he covered it. We had a good conversation on Twitter. We're looking into it. Hopefully, it'll be an update. The worst thing is you get that big, gigantic update for next gen, and there's still no Rumble for a rally game, especially an arcade game. Maybe I'm the only one that cares about this. I wanted the Rumble.
It's basically all Rumble Pack is to me now. I can't go back to it.
I like the Rumble Pack. Nintendo 64.
Yeah, but when you can feel raindrops on your hands, you can't go back to that stuff anymore.
Isaac, when I first got the Nintendo 60, when I got the Nintendo 64 and I got Star Fox with the Rumble Pack, there wasn't going back for me. That's something that's like a given.
Yeah,
and to not have it,
even on the Switch, like the HD Rumble is just like very accurate.
I disagree. I love you, Isaac, but the Nintendo Switch, I have it too. I have a lot of the games. I do not get the HD Rumble. It feels cheap to me. Maybe it's because of my gigantic hands with the little Joy-Cons. I want something better, but maybe Nintendo. But I'm still a Nintendo fan. I'm still a Nintendo.
I don't have a Switch. I've heard about HD Rumble. Can you educate me a little bit? Like, how does it feel compared to the haptics? Because with the haptics, you can get. No, it's not a comparison. I just want to know because listen. When you first start like some of the games and they do like these tests, you can feel the controller with marbles, and when you lean the controller over, you can feel the marbles roll to the other side and roll to the other side, and you can shake the controller. And it actually feels like there's marbles in the controller. Is it that accurate?
That's what they said.
Can you actually feel heat when you're going through fire, Ed? Is there like flames?
Yes. And the controller gets colder when your feet are like on ice.
Max, this seems like your controller, man. It seems like you need to be on the PS5 if you really want to like be worse.
Well, again, what are we on? Hashtag PlayStation Plus podcast.
You all know the story. We started this podcast because that was my intention. I wasted a day, and I'm too old for this shit. Like Lethal Weapon. I'm too old for this shit. I'm not waiting all day to give you my money. I took off work, and I got carpal tunnel and no PS5.
See, and that's what my video was about.
And no, there was definite reasons to want to keep my Xbox Series X's because of the Game Pass service. Like, I actually canceled pre-orders for games because it comes to Game Pass. I'm like, okay, I'm not going to buy this anymore. I'm going to, it's that much of it's a really, Isaac, do you have Game Pass yet?
Yeah. There's even a lot of games on Game Pass, like games I was thinking about getting on Switch, and it's like, I don't know if I want to spend 10 to 15 right now.
Right. It saves you money.
Yeah.
If you're a hardcore gamer.
Pass, and I'm like, okay, I'll download it.
Is that like Xbox Live? What is the
Mm-hmm.
Game Pass exactly? You guys are raving about it all the time. Is it just like those free games you get per month?
No, yeah, it's like PlayStation Plus, but actually good.
Yeah.
Like there's 100 games in the back category that are actually like very popular games, and
that
then
you stream or that you can own.
You download, and as long as you're subscribed to Game Pass, and it lasts longer than like a month, like PlayStation Plus, you could download it for like it'll be on there 5-6 months sometimes.
Yep, and then they rotate games like 1 month I had like 3 games, then next month I had like 5, and then
so the free game list is better than PlayStation kind of just trickles out like barely any.
Well, that's why PlayStation is trying to compete now. They have actually upped the ante with the Destruction All-Stars. Now is going to be PlayStation Plus day one. Microsoft has been doing this for a while. Day one, first party games on Game Pass. And Sony's starting to compete. So I see a bright future for PlayStation Plus 2. Competition makes it better for the consumer.
Of course.
Here's a question for that though. When you download a game that's included on Game Pass, once you've downloaded it, as long as you don't delete it and you continue to have the service, does it stay on your system or does it disappear when they rotate the games out?
If it leaves Game Pass and you click on it and it's on your hard drive, it says you have to buy the game. But it's
really?
But it's not an often. It doesn't happen often. Like it's more of a rare occurrence than things that happen all the time.
That's again the big case against digital. That's one of the reasons why digital sucks.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Unless you've actually bought it. Yeah, that's it. The free ones, I don't know. I've got free ones, but I don't have PlayStation Plus. But I'm almost guarantee you I could boot them up and play them right now. Like I do own them forever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about that PlayStation Now? That's a lot better than that Game Pass.
I don't know too much about that.
They don't have as many. They don't have as many top tier titles though. That's the problem with PlayStation.
They're working
now.
on it though.
Isn't that just the streaming service?
It's a streaming thing, and a lot of their games are PlayStation 3. Games.
Well, now do you?
That's what that was. Yeah, that rental.
Do you have PlayStation Plus right now, Ed?
No, I don't. I don't even have PlayStation Plus right now because I wanted to see what everything I could do with the next generation system, bare bones. Nothing added. So I can't say, oh, you had to pay extra for this and I had to pay extra for that. I want to see what do I get? What can I play? Can I play my existing games without paying anything extra? Can I play games that I've already downloaded? And what's really cool is the new feature is when you go into your library, it shows every single game that you have ever downloaded or owned for the system, even if you haven't downloaded it to the system. It's just like an archive of everything that you've owned in the past.
Did you have to transfer?
That's not new.
Did you have to transfer your PS4 stuff to your PS5? Because that's what my brother had to do. He had to plug in something to transfer.
No, all my games were there. Every single game.
I don't know what he was doing
on both systems, on PS4 and this one, were all there in the list.
Do you do digital or physical games, Ed?
I did both, and they were both showed up in the list.
Okay,
but they show up in the list, but you have to download them to the system, don't you?
If you have bought the digital one in the past, you don't. It just says download it right now. But I think if you had a disc copy of one, it has it's kind of grayed out, and then it shows that little circle with a line going through it. So I think that you have to actually buy the digital version of that because they're not going to let you. If you sold that'd be too cool. Like if you sold your disc games and then you still get to download the digital ones for free.
Digital one for free. You know what? That happened to me. That happened to me one time. And you know what that happened to me with? That happened to me with the Telltale Games Batman.
It worked?
What I did was I actually sold my physical disc copy, and I went on it and clicked on it, and it allowed me to download the digital version, which I'll never understand how that was even possible, but that's what happened particularly for that game. And I think that happened because Telltale Games was going out of business. So I think that's what caused that.
What happened.
I should have confirmed it before I came out.
What happened?
So some of the games, when you first started buying them, when they first started having that digital, they were actually giving you both copies. They were giving you a digital and a physical.
Oh, wow. Okay.
See, then when they figured out that when you could sell the disc and just keep the digital, then they stopped doing that.
Oh,
Oh wow! Well, yeah, you're probably right. Then that's probably what happened. Because I've never been able to do that with any other game. Like I had Street Fighter, anniversary 30th anniversary edition, and I went and tried to see if I could get the digital version of that one for free, and they wouldn't let me do it. I still have to put the disc in. But it's just like it's funny because there's a lot of games like that where I wondered if that was going to be the possibility for you to get the digitals, but yeah, no, so far for me, the only one that happened with was the Batman.
But interesting on that though, because they kind of made me buy the disc version of PS5. I wanted the digital only one. I'm gonna try and take advantage of it like that a little bit more. I'm gonna buy more disc games because I'm not a collector. And if I'm done with it, I'm done with it. I'm gonna sell it and try to get recoup some of my money back from it. So there's that. You take a little bit more of an advantage of it.
Yeah.
Does it have? This is something I didn't look into for PlayStation. Does it have like a quick resume feature like that Series X, where you press pause, you go to a home screen, press another game, and then you go play it right away?
Yeah, sort of what it does is it doesn't interrupt the game at all. The pause button, like when you want the PlayStation, the new PlayStation like control menu to come up, whatever you want to call it, it doesn't interrupt the game. The game's still in the background. It just comes up on the screen and you can do a whole bunch of neat stuff. And they've got these tile cards. You don't have to go to YouTube now and look for hints on the games. Like if you're stuck at one point, they have videos, like each game has like 150 videos already pre-uploaded to it. And you can just go to it and it knows exactly where you are on that stage. It tells you exactly how long it should take you to pass this part. And if you want a clue, you can watch a little gameplay clip go through and kind of show you. It's kind of like cheating, I guess, right? But I mean, if you're really stuck, you're going to look it up on YouTube anyway, right? So why not just have the convenience of it being there? So I thought that was kind of neat.
Since Isaac's here, he's a good Nintendo fan. Where does Nintendo fit into this equation for next gen? I mean, no, I do like Nintendo. I buy all their games. I love the cartridges for the Switch. I like putting it in the dock and taking it with me. Where do they fit? Do you think they will actually do a new improved Switch?
Yeah, I think it'll be next year when they do that. Because it's kind of one joke that I've kind of joked about lately is it's like, oh yeah, the week that we get next gen gaming, they're like, oh yeah, we're gonna release a Game and Watch.
That's
you got that too.
I saw that.
Yeah.
Let me see that.
Put that up. Put that up again. You got it. I was thinking about getting it. That's cool.
Oh, that's adorable.
You can play Mario on it and stuff, right? Like Super Mario and stuff, right? Yeah.
You're powered on.
That thing sold out so quick.
Isn't it alarm clock too?
That's
or something?
Funny.
Yeah, and then it plays Mario 1, Mario the Lost Levels, and then the original ball.
That's gonna be
nice.
Cool.
Yeah.
You know because your dad to keep the packaging, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Yeah.
Hey, and on that note, though, Max and everyone, I thought of a great thing that I was going to tell to everyone, say to everyone too. This is a great conspiracy of mine. It's a theory, but I think it's a sound theory. Is that Disney will do the exact same thing that they did to Star Wars? It's only a matter of time before Disney buys Nintendo. It's like I can see it in the future. Trust me, it's gonna happen.
Oh
How could they not have all the Nintendo world when you go to Disneyland? I mean, it fits.
The quality control for Nintendo's actual games is better than Disney. I don't foresee.
No, I think Disney's just going to buy them out. I think Disney is going to be
that would
Nintendo.
be if they want to. Nintendo doesn't want that. They have a bunch of money saved up from all these. I'll be honest, underpowered.
Well,
consoles.
so did Star Wars.
They don't. Nintendo does not lose money on consoles. The other guys do. I don't think. I mean, they might lose. The margins might be smaller than it was in the past for Nintendo. But that's why they focus on all these other things, which is a good thing too. You need variety in gameplay.
But Disney's just like, they want that because Nintendo's got the characters, they've got the franchise, they've got the world. You know what I mean? They want you. You know what I mean? They want.
So you're thinking Disney? You thinking Disneyland is going to eventually become Mario World?
No, the other way around. They're going to own it. They're going to own it like they own Star Wars, and it's going to be like, here's everything. Here's the big Pikachu ride. Here's the Mario ride. You know, like
they
want it. Now. Trust me. And look at all of the stuff that Nintendo makes. That's like toys and.
It's more likely
all
that
those plushies and all those weird things they make, right? That's Disney.
More likely that Microsoft will buy them.
Just them. They want them. Trust me.
Because Microsoft is actively looking to buy rightfully so. Game Pass. It's funny because I don't even think. It's going to get to a point where it's not. It's outside the box. Game Pass as a service is going to. It's going to be on TVs. It's going to be on devices. Cloud gaming. They're starting to work on it now, where it just works on your phone.
Yeah.
Once they get that really working well, and then they buy a Japanese game developer, they're gonna do better in Japan because people in Japan love to do mobile stuff. The
Japanese market is all about mobile. So
right, I really think that's why they're stressing this. Play Game Pass everywhere with the cloud gaming. Sony could do that too.
Yeah,
but if they get the foothold first and they become the first Netflix for gaming, which Game Pass, I haven't heard one bad thing about Game Pass yet. PlayStation, I also have PlayStation Plus. I very rarely go on there because there's very rarely a game that I really want that I don't own already. But if I do get PlayStation 5 eventually, Destruction All-Stars Day 1 is exciting to me. Even though I don't like the Fortnite style graphics, because I don't like all those games that try to be like the next Fortnite. It's annoying to me.
Max is gonna get just a normal.
There's
controller.
a lot of them. That's just an arena shooter.
Yeah. No feedback with the controller.
No, I need my Rumble, and I need my dual senses.
You're gonna get the one defective controller out of the whole world. In your PS5.
You need your controller to rain on you. You need to be able to feel gravel and heat, like Ed is talking about here. I got to be honest. To me, the whole Rumble
try
thing,
it and you'll see what I'm saying. You can make fun of it all you want if you haven't tried it. But trust me, if you feel it, you'll be like, Ed was right. Yeah, this is the way to go. I can't go back.
No, that's what I hopefully Microsoft takes note and does an advanced controller too, while still letting you use
what I was going to say. Yeah, I was going to bring that up. If they do that, they got to get on that. As long as Sony hasn't patented this technology, which they might have done.
Yeah, you'll say if they haven't patented it, I think that's what the Elite Series 3 will be, is more like the DualSense.
Yeah,
that would be killer.
That's an amazing controller. I never, even though I like controllers that much, I never intended to buy one that expensive just for a regular controller. But if you could show that again. Does it really feel substantially better? Because you now have a 1X controller.
I think it does, yeah.
Yeah, it definitely has a little bit of weight to it compared to a normal controller.
What about the D-pad? That looks different.
Yeah, it's like the circular, and then you can take it off and swap it with the traditional one.
Ooh, wow. I didn't know that.
That is innovative. Wow.
Yeah.
It's a slick controller.
It comes with a case.
Yeah.
Well, it should for that money.
Yeah.
You can switch everything on them, can't you? You can switch the analogs too, right?
Yep. You can put a normal one. The thumbsticks, you can have it be more.
It's customizable. That's very cool.
Oh wow!
They even made one that's even longer.
Oh,
compared to like a normal one.
You're really making me rethink my control. Yeah, Sonya's.
You can see.
Sweet Sonya's.
Yeah, I always like the longer one better.
And then you can even adjust the tension on the thumbsticks.
Oh wow!
Yeah, like it gives you this little tool.
What's up, Ray?
You take off the thumbstick, twist it, and then you can either make it more loose or more tight.
So you swear by this controller, being an Xbox with your Xbox gaming, you have to use this.
Well, if you're playing with it all the time, I would recommend it. Why not?
Yeah, if you got a Series X, you're not having the full experience if you don't have this controller, Max.
I mean the customization options. Oh my goodness! Wow.
Like it comes with 4 extra thumbsticks.
Wow,
that's cool. I like that.
And you don't feel like when you change it, it feels fragile. It feels firm and it feels quality.
It's all magnetic, so it's just
magnet.
Wow, look at that.
There you go. You just said the magic word. You said magnetic. So there you go. Now everybody's got to be like.
There's so many people.
You just pull it right off.
Yeah.
Do you actually use the paddles?
For some games. Like more like competitive games, like I'll use it, or like fighting games, I'll use it. But if I'm playing something like Assassin's Creed or Forza, I'm not going to use them.
Isaac, add me on Microsoft so he could play some stuff. Okay. Mad Max. YT for YouTube and then a number. I can't remember. I'll send it to you later.
You gotta get a bunch of friend requests now.
Nah, not really.
Everybody was
not really. We got 14 viewers. Woo! Now, Tony, you could send it to me too. I don't know if you have. What do you have now, Tony? You have an Xbox or PS4?
I just got the PS4 right now.
PS4, okay. And I am getting an Amico. I still want my pre-order in. But PlayStation 5, I've just been lucking out. And then
you'll get it. It won't take long.
This is
probably a couple days.
I'm so disappointed because I'm happy for you, but I'm also disappointed because I thought I was going to get a grumpy Ed, and he's like all smiles because this video.
I can't complain anymore, right? What can I complain about?
Well, you can. You're not a true YouTuber if you just like if you.
But he's satisfied. That's what you're getting here. You're getting Ed in a satisfactory tone right now.
I know you always want me in a bitchy mood all the time. No, easy to do. Trust me, I'm the most annoyed guy in the world with everything. But it's hard when you get it. It was good. It was everything I expected.
But
then some. You know, like Toys R Us can kiss my ass. I hope they die and go to hell.
They've already died and went to hell in America.
They're barely hanging on over here. Really disappointed in them. They didn't even call me ahead of time with the information. You know, like she could have called me ahead of time and said, "Oh, this is what we're gonna do." Well, why'd you take my information down then? Like, don't waste my time.
To make you feel better.
All right, let's share what we're playing now. I've been playing a lot of fighting games because I've been procrastinating.
Which ones? Mortal Kombat? Hey, is Rambo out yet?
The 17th.
I want to see gameplay footage of Rambo because they trickled that one out, and I'm like, oh my god, because you know what I mean. I grew up with the movie, and I'm just like, they took so many cool movie references. Like no one would really get that when he does the leg sweep on the guy, and then he does the elbow in the face when he's on the ground and cracks his whole face in. That's from Rambo 1. He did that. You know what I mean? Like they're taking actual moves.
I made a video. I said it's time, Ed.
Is John Wick?
I think John Wick is coming.
Is that bull or is it? It's just a rumor.
No,
that's real.
That's what people want. Like,
yeah.
Can you imagine John Wick in that game?
I think he's coming. I think he's coming, guys. I think he's coming.
So many cool moves. He'll grab the guy and he'll take out his knife and he'll knife him, and then he'll grab him by the back of the head and he'll do that boom, boom, boom with a pistol in the face.
Can you imagine? That game would sell. I mean, but really. With the best guest characters are a great thing. I'm also going to do a video, the best guest characters in fighting games, and I'm going to show.
We can do an entire show on that, Max.
Well, we could do it next week if you want. I could work on I procrastinate. Though.
What do you mean by guest characters? You mean like the ones we're talking about, right? Yeah, the ones that they put in, right?
Fighting games and season passes now, and that's the other topic I wanted to do is like, do you want a new entry in the game, or do you just want continued season passes? My personal opinion, just keep with the season passes unless there's a really graphically reason to upgrade.
Exactly.
Because then everything works together. You get a season pass next time. Now you're going to have Rambo with Arnold Schwarzenegger because of season passes. If they keep doing, and then they new stages, you have to keep the stages coming. That's but fighting games. Season passes are where it's at, and I love it.
You can even see it with Smash Bros. The Smash Bros. Season passes are even.
That's right, Smash Bros. Yeah, they do the same thing. They do. I love the fighting games or the combat games, whatever you want to call them, that keep putting in this. All of a sudden, we're gonna have this guy in, like, because then they put in. And it's probably old, but I saw when they put in what was it, Terry Bogard into Smash Brothers, and everyone flipped out about that.
That was crazy. Remember? Cool, I mean, that was like a.
Yeah. That's a massive crossover, like SNK, and then all of a sudden going into the Nintendo world. It's almost like a comic book crossover, only better.
Yes.
Well, Nintendo, that is one thing that they are winning over everyone else with their Smash Brothers is they have all these licenses, but they keep adding more, and then they don't disappear. I cannot stand when you get a new entry and then they disappear. The guest characters from the last entry. That's why I just want them to continue.
Well, Mortal Kombat almost has an endless lineup as well. Like, then they got Freddy Krueger, they got Jason. You know, like they do the horror franchise, right? And then Alien, they do the action franchise. They got Predator, and don't they have Alien too? Like they got everything.
Well, that's the problem, though. I would love to have Arnold as Terminator going against the Predator, but the Predator's in the last Mortal Kombat game.
Isn't
He's
the
not
Terminator
there
already in it?
Oh,
Oh,
that's right.
Yeah,
They're
because
different.
that
Man,
was,
why don't they just move them all over?
well, I mean, that's why I say passes over entries. Like,
Yeah.
that-
If that's the way it is, then yeah, go that way for
Because-
sure. I want
because-
all of them.
because Mortal Kombat XL had, it had Alien and Predator.
And had Jason Voorhees.
Jason was the best. That was my favorite.
Leatherface.
Yeah.
And then Mortal Kombat 9 had Freddy Krueger.
Yeah.
Can you imagine them all in the same game? Come on!
They should be. What am I
Boon!
thinking?
Here, tell Ed say something to Ed Boon.
Ed Boon.
Like, come on.
Ed Boon, put all of the characters together, okay?
No, stop doing entries and cutting them
Well,
up.
it's gonna. You know what's gonna happen? It's gonna come out like a. It's gonna come out like a new version of Mortal Kombat Trilogy.
And John Wick.
Yeah.
Well, no, they can't necessarily because these are all licensed. They do the license deal for that game only. When you go to Mortal Kombat 12, it's square one.
What's to stop them from initiating some sort of a deal for another Game Pass for Mortal Kombat 11 Ultimate Edition that allows them to add on all the rest of those characters? Couldn't they contractually set that up? I mean,
the best thing is that they actually do a versus game, Mortal Kombat versus, or just continue Game Passes for years season passes for Mortal Kombat 11 for years to come.
Yeah, that's what I think they need to do.
Don't start Mortal Kombat 12 because then we're going to start fresh. It's going to drive me nuts. It's going to become an issue. This is the best. Mortal Kombat 11 has the best guest characters that are continuing. It has
Is
more.
Ash from Evil Dead in it?
That's another one that they want.
He's got to be added.
It's fun. It's so fun to play as RoboCop. I mean, my God, guys!
I didn't play it.
RoboCop is in there. RoboCop versus Terminator.
Well,
that was a classic when I watched a few of those ones.
I didn't get RoboCop yet because I skipped the Aftermath because I knew they were going to do another version. So I was just like, I'm going to get the Ultimate. I have store credit. I got like $70 store credit at a store. So I'm going to go out on the 17th, and I tried this. This store is weird. They won't let you pre-order a game because they do all kinds of other stuff. They sell all kinds of other things, and I'm like, okay, I'll come back the day of. I'm hopefully going to get it the 17th, and I'm just going to get the Ultimate disc. I get discs still, but Zod, you have it pre-order digital, right?
Yeah.
And Chuck Norris would be a good one to add.
Yes.
Chuck Norris because everyone loves Chuck Norris and the jokes and everything like that. Like, he's the most powerful guy in the world, and you could actually have him do some of those memes as like a fatality or something, where he just like destroys the world with one punch or something, right? I don't know.
They got to add. They need to add Bruce Lee. They need to add Bruce Lee.
Bruce Lee's not in it. Oh, I can't believe it.
They need to do like the Mortal Kombat Mugen games that exist, where they're able to they just add everybody and everybody.
Well, the problem with Bruce Lee is his license might cost actually more, and then also with someone that's passed ripping their head off and stuff. I don't know. People don't have a problem with that, but the license holders of the Bruce Lee, his image and stuff.
Bruce Lee would be one of the most badass fighters
They might not want to see his spine get ripped out and stuff. Yeah, I don't know. That's just what I'm thinking. That's what's. I mean, when it's a fictional character from the movie franchise or just Bruce Lee, I don't know.
We want to put in the classic. What is it? Game of Death. He's got to have the yellow suit on. He is the character from that, and so. And then add
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar too, so you could have that.
And have him so tall that like the top of his head goes like through the life bar. It's just out of the top of the screen.
And Steve Kassan is upset with you. He's like, whoa. Keep Toys R Us alive up here. For the kids, Ed, just because you couldn't get the hookup with the manager.
Then go to Walmart.
Oh, no, it's for the kids. For the kids,
well, the
Ed.
kids can go to Walmart.
Go to Walmart for your Ninja Turtle arcade one-up.
I wish we still had Toys R Us in America. How about you, Isaac and Matt? Isaac, you miss Toys R Us?
Oh yeah, we even had one just down the road from us.
Well, I think your dad's hurt for Toys R Us being gone more than you are. It's like my figure.
Oh, I love Toys R Us. I miss Toys R Us too. It's always fun just to go walk there.
I miss all the Legos. There used to be like a bunch of Legos that they had in the very front as soon as you entered. I love that stuff.
Well, it's mostly baby stuff now. It's Babies R Us, right? So it's their toy department is actually quite narrow. So maybe if you're talking about in the past when we used to walk through Toys R Us, yeah.
Oh yeah, in the past.
Nowadays,
I haven't been to Toys R Us in forever.
It's a dead zone today.
So Chubby Teddy says this is a great cast that's here. Max, you have a great eye for who casts to your live stream. Zack Snyder type level casting. Yeah, I know. No, thanks, Chubby.
I brought it up. That's what it is.
Yeah, everybody in this panel is cool, but you know who's cooler? All of the people who are watching us right now.
That's right.
I disagree. No, you guys are the
You're not
best.
supposed to say that.
You guys are the best. Yes.
Hashtag us united.
Yes.
Yes.
I haven't looked into that, Matt.
Awesome.
I don't know.
Oh my God, Matt, that was perfect. that should be the soundbite for this week.
We got to make sure the algorithm is putting us up there, man. We got to be with the trends.
That's right. Hashtag us united. That's the clip of the week.
Well, Tony, what do you think about all this? Are you into fighting games? What do you think? What way do you think they should go with the fighting games? New entries or just continue the game? What do you like? The season passes?
Season passes are good, but I do like the new entries because I am invested a little bit in the storyline between the characters and what's going on. I mean, if they could have like an update that also had storylines, not just adding characters, but
that's what Mortal Kombat did with the Aftermath. I just didn't watch that storyline yet.
I've never been a big Mortal Kombat fan. I've always been Street Fighter, Tekken.
Street Fighter, yeah.
Street Fighter 5, that is one that you have to have a PlayStation for. That's a great game. It's had a rocky start, but it's amazing now if you wanted to get it. Someone asked what fighting games I'm playing right now. I'm kind of keep the lid on that because I'm going to do a whole video, like the game stack of hidden gems of fighting games for a Series X fighting game guide too. Yes, sci-fi. I'll check that out in a moment. I'll check.
Was there more fighting games than what I'm thinking? Because what I'm thinking is like probably only the 3 major franchises.
Well,
right?
You'll have to stay tuned. There's a lot of hidden gems there. I'm going to do
now, what Max? What about Killer Instinct?
Yes.
Oh yeah. What happened to that?
Talk about a hidden gem.
That's one that I'm really disappointed that there's not a new entry. They revived it. It's successful. I don't think it's as successful as they wanted.
No, that went away like so quick.
No, they had 3 seasons. And actually, the model for fighting games now owes everything to Killer Instinct because they did it first. They did it right. They actually did it better because they did the thing that I think the only other fighting game studio that does this is Tecmo with the core fighters where you actually could download the game and play one character free. And then you buy all the other ones. So you could actually play online. You could play you can't just play the story mode. You could play some of the other modes and you just have one character and then you buy characters that you want.
That's awesome.
If you're just a gamer, a fighting game gamer that wants to just really focus on one fighter, you can just play it for free and you could be competitive and everything. The past
is not a bad idea. Normally I would have said, wait, that's not a good idea. But then I start thinking about it and I go, well, yeah, there is some characters that I'm not interested in playing whatsoever.
Yeah. And let's be honest, there's people, most people are like that anyway, where they get good with one fighter. Yeah. They get good with one fighter and that's who they stick with and that's who they perfect. And I think that's a beautiful.
Namco and all the others should actually do this. Virtual Fighter, if they come back, I think they should do that too. Reach more people. Unfortunately, there's just too much money to make when you do a whole new entry, and then not doing the core fighters and free because, even with
they're kind of making you buy all the fighters. Like if they charge a full price for the game, it's gonna be like $90, and then you get all the fighters. But at least they've maximized their selling to you, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes. Let me get to the chat here. That one, Carlos, full DLC is always better than just one-off add-ons. GTA 5 is so dumb for never releasing single player DLC. Red Dead Redemption DLC Undead Nightmare is the best selling DLC ever, and it's awesome. Huh. Yeah, I'm not against DLC if it's done right. Mm-hmm. Steve Kassan, Killer Instinct is the truth. Max is right. I remember when they came out back in 1964, it was big as MK home console release.
Yeah, agreed.
That was on launch date. That was one of the very first games I bought for my N64 was Killer Instinct straight up.
There was rumors that, and they're not gonna do it now because but the company that makes Mortal Kombat and the Warner Brothers video game division, I forget what they're called.
Isn't it Midway?
No, that Midway's gone.
Okay.
Okay, but they did. You're right though. They did start Ed Boon worked at Midway first. It became something else, and then they were thinking about selling.
It was Williams and Midway. They were together.
Microsoft was. There was actually rumors that Microsoft was going to buy NetherRealm and all the like Rocksteady. I forget that Warner Video Games. I don't know, but
NetherRealm.
But this is what I wanted from that
Killer Kombat.
Oh my god!
Killer Instinct versus Mortal Kombat. Can you imagine?
Yeah,
that's got to happen at some point.
Well, it may not happen now, like because I'm happy that they're not getting sold. They're making great games with Mortal Kombat. The new Rocksteady game. What's the new Batman games coming out for next gen?
Arkham Knights.
Arkham Knights. Yeah, they're looking really solid. They don't need to be sold. But if it was going to happen, I actually made a video on this. I'm like, come on, it's time. Killer Kombat, it's time.
Well, you know what? No, you know what it's time for? Honestly, it's time for Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat to cross over.
Really? That hasn't happened yet?
I mean, my God.
Yeah.
It's
happened in Mugen if you play Mugen games, but not officially.
Maybe it's because the controller schemes of both games are so radically different.
No,
which one do you choose? Right?
It's because of the fatality stuff. Like Mortal Kombat. Ed Boon's always like, yeah, we're open to that. We're open to that. The only ones that actually allowed it was DC, and if you remember, Mortal Kombat versus DC. They did not have the fatalities.
They had fatalities, but they weren't as brutal as the ones that you got. But they were pretty brutal, though. I have to admit, they were still pretty brutal by DC standards. I mean, you had the Joker literally shooting people in the head. So is
that the one though that censored it, where he shot him in the head, but you only heard the gunshot off of the screen? That's the one that I thought I got ripped off on. Is that the one you're talking about? Or did it actually show in?
I don't remember. Now I don't really remember. I'd have to go back and play it because it was
the censored one. Yeah, I didn't like that one.
Mortal Kombat fans were upset because they're like, you made it too watered down just to fit the franchise.
So that's what would happen if Mortal Kombat and Street Fighter crossed over. They'd have to water it down. So I would say you probably have a better chance of say like a Mortal Kombat versus Tekken than you do Mortal Kombat versus Street Fighter.
It is, but let your imagination go. Like he does a fatality, Ryu does a fatality where he does the uppercut and it goes right through the guy's rib cage and rips it all out, all through his jaw and everything, like straight up. And basically, it's just like the whole front of his body.
I wish you were in charge, Ed.
That would be great, Ed. Well, yeah. We gotta get Ed to talk to Ed Boon and see if we can.
Well, I think
all the way.
You know what? Ed Boon would be an incredible interview for this show, guys. We got to try to make that happen. We got to do that.
It's gonna happen. Yeah, it's gonna happen, Ed. You don't know it yet, but I'll okay. You gave me a task, Zodrider. I will bug Ed Boon to death until he comes on the PlayStation Plus podcast to talk about Killer Kombat, and. Here we go, and I'll send them this video. And John Wick, and it's time movies versus Mortal Kombat or Mortal Kombat versus, and just to get as many licensed characters in that you can.
You got him, Ed Boon.
What? Yeah, he's contemplating it. He's thinking about it. That's why I got that picture.
You gotta get Ed Boon. You gotta get Ed Boon to bring in Star Wars characters too.
Are you kidding me?
Oh, The Mandalorian.
No, they would never. Disney.
Oh,
would
could
never
you imagine
allow-
how great it would be?
Yeah, but
You could be Baby Yoda
I want to be in reality though.
One of the fatalities.
eating people.
Force and just like, it's gonna explode or something.
That's just it's nice thought, Zod Rider. It just will never happen. That would never. I want to be in reality and things that can possible. You know, I like to dream, but that's just impossible.
Disney won't allow it. It's too grotesque.
Yeah, that's true.
Can you imagine them doing that to Luke Skywalker and then the memes and then the videos that would come out?
Don't tease me. Imagine just playing Luke Skywalker like in full Jedi mode. You know what I mean? Oh, forget about it. That'd be so rad.
The Jedi doesn't break
people
people's
fighting game, and it sucked.
What's that?
Oh yeah, the Masters of Terrasai. Remember that one?
It was all right.
It was for the PlayStation. Yeah.
There's a fan developed game happening right now that I still got to which I can't really cover because I reached out to the person making it. And he's like, this is best where it doesn't get much coverage, so Disney doesn't shut us down. But I want to play this game. I still didn't download it. I got to play it now that I have my fighting commander.
So it's a Star Wars fighting game.
Yes, it's like Master Terracossi, but better. Current, not exactly current gen graphics, but close for a fan made project. It looks legit.
All right, well, put the link in the private chat.
Yeah. Sci-Fi had a comment here earlier. You know what gets me about the guest characters MK11? The fact that they got Stallone to voice Rambo in the game, but they didn't get Arnold to voice the Terminator.
Arnold was probably too expensive.
Yeah.
Right.
Holy crap.
Stallone is cool with everything.
Yeah,
he's a team
cool.
player.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do think I like Arnold, but come on, he's more of a prima donna than Stallone is. Stallone
It'd be like them getting the Incredible Hulk in Mortal Kombat and trying to get Lou Ferrigno to come and do the voice. The amount of money they'd have to pay him, it just wouldn't be worth it.
Honestly, Stallone is more, I love them both, but Stallone is really where it's at too, because he gets projects developed and happening, and he's still Arnold isn't really doing much.
They should add the Expendables. They should add the Expendables to Mortal Kombat 11.
That's true. Ed came up with a good point. He's just going to make grinding noises.
Luke Ferrigno is just going to growl and stuff.
Yeah, and they're going to have to pay him. They're going to have to pay him half the budget for the game. They need to get the Expendables on Mortal Kombat 11.
Oh my god,
man, that'd be amazing.
I know the Expendables. Holy crap.
Let me see. That one, Carl. Yes, because it was close to happening in the past. I actually followed. I love.
Actually, if you look at what Street Fighter, I don't know if you guys know this, but originally Street Fighter 2 was a very violent game. It actually had guns in it where you could actually shoot your opponent. Initial development of Street Fighter 2 was very bloody and very violent, and they changed it at the last minute. They went in. Capcom was initially going for a much more violent and horrible game. So it's so I don't think that Mortal Kombat and Street Fighter colliding ultimately on the violence level of Mortal Kombat would really be that much of a stretch if you know the history.
Yeah, that's
Street
where
Fighter
remember
franchise.
the rumor about Guile, and he could take a gun out of his boot. There was a special maneuver you could do with the controller, and it was always a rumor.
There's pictures of it online. There's pictures of it online.
Right? That's where that all comes from.
They were bloody, and there was a scene where you had a big one of them. They had a big bazooka, and you could blow the other person right off the screen. It was. You
got to send me stuff on this. That would be good, interesting. Well, I think next week. Yeah, I know. I love fighting games, and I love Street Fighter, and I did not know this. Well, next week we'll probably be talking a lot about Mortal Kombat Ultimate if I could get my hands on it.
Yes. What? You're not getting it? Oh, yeah, because you're getting a physical copy. You're getting a physical copy. So.
Anyone else planning to get it on the panel? I mean, no pressure or anything. I'm just saying. I'm just curious.
No, I think I'm at the point where I just like watching other people play it. Like I used to be really good at fighting games back in the day when Street Fighter 2 came out. I actually entered tournaments and would win them and stuff like that. Except that when you've been doing it, I think for like 30 years and stuff like that, I'm not these kids will just, you know what I mean, destroy me. So I don't even bother. I'll just get really frustrated by just losing all the time. They would just absolutely destroy me. So I'd rather just watch. It's more interesting to me just watching them go, and I don't got to learn the moves or anything.
Well, me and
Call
Zod
me
might,
weird, but I'd rather watch it.
Me and Zod might collab on a review for Ultimate.
Well, if you play it, I'll watch it.
Yes, we'll collab.
I'm more the cheerleader.
And we'll see who wins. I don't know if we can play each other though. I'm on Xbox.
And I'm on PS4. So.
Oh God.
They're not.
Isn't there crossplay?
They're not crossplay.
PS4 and PC. I got it for the PC as well, but I don't know.
Max.
Yeah, very few companies I think cross-platform both systems.
I've been ended up buying games for both systems. It's been driving me crazy because I'm like, I just bought Injustice 2 yesterday for my Series X. Just the Xbox One because it's backwards compatibility.
That's another great.
I got Legendary version, which comes for $20. It comes with all the DLC characters.
Comes with Darkseid. Darkseid is because Darkseid is still like $5 by himself.
Yeah, so I would say go look for the Legendary version, and it's different. It doesn't have a flyer in with a code on it. It's just you stick the game and it has an unlock on the disc, so it automatically downloads the DLC. But it's still not on the disc, though. It's weird. But that's the way to do it. You could actually probably get it used if you go to a used game store and just get the Legendary because that's a benefit of them doing it this way. If you find a Legendary Injustice 2 edition, it has the unlock on the disc. You still download it from this PlayStation store or Microsoft store, but you'll get it even without having the flyer. I don't see any way they could cheap the consumer on that for buying a used copy because that happens when you have the flyers on there.
What's your background? You changed your background. Is that Mortal Kombat in the background?
Yeah, for my Mortal Kombat video, and I just forgot to change it back.
Oh, it looks good.
Let me see. Sci-Fi says, "Do you know what? There's a Jurassic Park fighting game called Warpath, where you can play." No, I did not.
God, that sounds terrible.
It was terrible. It
sounds terrifying.
That sounds worse than what was that Primal Rage game?
I love Primal Rage.
Primal Rage had so much potential, though.
That's what everybody says. I know, but it just didn't go.
Yeah, but they did make that Primal Rage 2, and that game sucked.
Yeah,
unfortunately.
Oh. Hilarious.
Okay, so we're about at the hour mark, so really just pimp yourself. And everyone's welcome to come back. The only way this show could get better is if we get Prime 2 with this whole panel. Man, that would be
this panel is boss. I mean, for real.
Boss?
Wow.
Ah.
All right, we're gonna go places with this podcast.
Better than anyone else I've seen on YouTube.
Yeah, I agree. But something else we want to do, and this is also what I wanted to get Isaac in. Isaac, because you're a younger gamer, we're going to be working on getting some review copies for some of the panelists if we can. It's going to be an uphill battle because I'm fresh to it. Tony has more experience.
Can we ask how old he is? Of representing younger? How young?
I just turned 18.
Nice. Okay, so
perfect.
That's young. Cool.
Perfect. I think that is this a general consensus of this where we want to go to. We eventually want to get review copies and do this kind of stuff and get this. We're at episode 8 now. I think it's getting better. I think the show's getting better, and I see us going places.
Yes.
And thanks also to Tony. He gave us some good info on how to get some of the. It can be an uphill battle.
Tony.
I've started emailing companies to get review copies of games. So I've gotten responses from quite a few of them telling me that they will send me review copies. So it can be done. We'll make it happen.
And I'm pretty much
it's not that hard once you know how to do it. Don't worry about it.
All right, cool. So Tony, and I don't mean to speak for you, but if anyone needs help here, you're willing to lend a hand if they give you a message on Twitter.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I'm willing to give anybody a hand. There is no competition. We're all just gamers doing what we got to do.
Okay, cool. And that's what I would love to see. Even if it's not me personally, I would love to see these younger guys and Zod and Ed get some review copies. Get some work done, get a history here. Make it something that's also, if you do this type of work too, it could be on a resume too in the future as well. I mean, I got my job, but and then Tony also has a website where he writes articles and reviews there too, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So that's something to look forward to. But I appreciate you all visiting. Pimp your channel. We'll start with Ed.
Retro Gamer 3. YouTube, website, yada yada yada.
Yeah,
Except not on Facebook because I've been banned.
Yeah, he's been banned a few places on the internet. So that might be an uphill battle to get review copies for you.
Yeah, I know. I think I'm on Twitter, but only pretty much for you. So it's like I don't really tweet that much anyway, so I don't really know why anyone would really want to follow me. It'd probably be pretty boring.
No, follow Ed. It'll be fun.
You can, yeah. I think it's like hashtag Ed Retro Gamer 3 or something. You'll be able to find me on Twitter.
All right, Zod Rider. Are we gonna collab for this Mortal Kombat review at least?
Oh yeah, we're gonna collab for that, and you can find me on the Zod Rider Show on Tuesday nights on YouTube, on my YouTube channel at Zod Rider, and on Twitter at Zod Rider if you need me for anything. And you can find me here on hashtag PlayStation Plus podcast every Sunday with you guys. This is awesome.
All right, Tony and the Geek Getaway. Your website's thegeekgetaway.com, right?
That's right, geekgetaway.com. You can find me on YouTube, same name, Twitter, same name. I'm not on Facebook because that's for old ladies, but you know.
All right, Isaac, where can we find you? In the lounge, or can we find you here?
Yeah, in the lounge. We're on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and then you can find me on Twitter and Instagram through the lounge.
All right, and Mad Matt keeping this boat afloat while the madman takes a nap.
Yeah.
I was so happy to see where I completely screwed up last week, and the show still went on. I was like, "This is great." That's where I knew we were on to something. When people still get the keep it rolling, and
we got to keep it going.
Yeah, I mean that was such a fun show last week that
I know. Thanks a lot.
We were just like,
this is even better without Maxie. I remember that point. It's like, what the hell, Zod Rider? He's like, this show's the best one we've ever done. Like, I was very conflicted when you said that. I'm like, what? The best one? I'm not there.
No, because if you would have been there, it would have been even better.
Oh, okay. Nice save. All right, yeah. No, but that moment I was very conflicted. I was like, this is a great show. I was like, wait, I don't know if I agree with that, Zod.
It was just like a small idea, and it just evolved into something bigger, and it was just cool. Yeah, it was really awesome. But you can find me anywhere at Mad Vids, or you can find me on the Zeverfett channel talking about superheroes or Star Wars movies in general.
Yes. All right, so that's where we'll end it. We keep it to a nice tight hour. Keep the viewers wanting more, and more to come. Thanks, everyone. Bye.